Salve Forth Paladins, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Starfleet Command, Orion Pirates Plus mod. Not just a brand new episode, but the start of a brand new season. Welcome everybody to Season 5, the Hydron campaign. That's right, we have fought as the Federation, we have fought as the Klingons, we have done battle as the ISC, and we have gone through a rip-roaring countfight as the Marak, and now it's time to enter that feudalistic era that is the Hydron Star Kingdom. That's right, we will be, as always, Tirak, because that's who we are. Skill level Commodore, because, you know, I think we're probably not going to do Admiral until a little later on, and always starting in the early era so that we have the full fun of going through early, middle, late, and advanced era starships. So let's click and begin the new campaign. Congratulations, Commander. You have completed your training and are ready to assume command of your first vessel in the Hydron Navy. May your household gods smile upon you. Be prepared for some confusion as you begin to encounter the other beings that populate the galaxy. They look very different, and they are often disturbed by our own appearance. Remember that since you encounter them in space, they have proved themselves to be sentient beings of great potential. As you complete missions, you will gain prestige. Prestige reflects the high opinion we have of you. You will be able to expand prestige when your ship expend prestige when your ship requires repairs and resupply, and in addition, prestige is spent upon the purchase of new or additional ships. Wherever you travel, new missions will become available. Please check for these assignments frequently. We will rely on your independence and initiative in protecting Hydron space. From time to time, you will have specific instructions for you, which we trust you will follow. Far beyond the frontier, there are uncharted regions of deep space where there is much to be learned about the nature of the universe. Sadly, these lawless regions that are frequented by pirates and warmongers. Do not relax your vigilance. Well, not quite as interesting, I suppose, as the Marak intro, with, you know, clawing at people's throats. Welcome to the very beginning of Season 5. As you can see, the start of the map, everybody has borders with nobody except, you know, the Marak and the Lyran as they go at it in their normal battle. Now, because we are playing as the Hydron down here in the corner, our only possible enemies are the Lyran Star Empire and the Klingon Empire. So us, being a grand and noble Hydron kingdom, are going to fight the Klingons. Yes, we did fight as the Klingons against the Hydrons, but I feel that was enough seasons ago that we've kind of gotten, you know, away from the Klingon mentality and away from being too used to seeing Klingon ships everywhere. So that's what we're going to do. The Hydrons strike back in vengeance. We are Lieutenant Commander in our frigate HMS Thunderclap. So let us check out the shipyard, see what else we've got going for us. The LM, Lord Marshal Command Cruiser, will be sort of the first ship that we'll go after. It's equipped with 2 Hellbore cannons and 4, fusion beams. That's what it is. Our own ship is a HCU, which just so happens to be the same type as this ship. A Cuirassier frigate, equipped with a single Hellbore cannon, 4 Phaser 2s, and a single Phaser G. That Phaser G is going to be nice and useful to us early on. The Hellbore cannon gives us a nice long-range option, but I think we've did enough here. Supply yard, anything we need to buy, we're full on shuttles, we're decent enough, and we really don't want to be spending cash very early on, because we want to save for that bigger ship. So let's set out into space and start our very first patrol as the Hydrons. And it is Klingons. Excellent. Hit the red alert, and look at the beautifully sleek HUD here. Is this not gorgeous? I think it's one of the best HUDs in the game. I'm just going to be completely honest, because everything sort of is just beautifully easy to read. Unlike the Marak HUD, which, as much as I adore the Marak and playing as them, good God, their HUD is hard to use. Okay, so we can't quite go at a speed of 14. The 0.3 power apparently is not actually 0.3 points of power. There's a little bit of a remainder in there, and so if we try and move that fast, well, it stops working. It looks like we've run into a Klingon freighter, and a quick check of this tells us it's an FOL. I have no idea what that would be. It's not a Q ship like I was half expecting, so I'm assuming this is some kind of tender that is looking to resupply Klingon vessels in the area. Our Hellbore is a Chargen, and that will be our primary method of engagement against this guy, mainly because it gives us a tremendous range advantage, and we would like to stay alive. The less damage that we take, you know, the less time we have to spend in dock, the less prestige we have to waste, and at this point in the game, well, saving prestige is critical. A quick check of the rest of the map tells us there is nothing on scanners at this range. The speed of 13 is decent enough, especially for an early on frigate. We do have a really nice heavy weapon. The Hellbore Cannon is an interesting gun. I've explained this in previous seasons, but we always want to start as if you have no idea what's being talked about, so you can hop into these things at any point in any time. The Hellbore Cannon fires a projectile out, which when it hits an enemy shield, it sort of explodes, wraps around, and bounces. And then, because of the way that the shield energies work, the force of the explosion is funneled into the weakest shield. So essentially, you can never hit a reinforced hard shield, unless they've reinforced every shield, with a Hellbore Cannon. It's a beautiful weapon. It is just phenomenal, and I adore it. We had to fight against these things quite a bit in the Klingon campaign, and they were just a nightmare. Because Klingon ship design has very weak rear shields, and so you'd run into the Hellbore armed Hydrons, and they would fire a shot right into you from the front. It would wrap around to the back, and suddenly you'd find yourself with a hole in the ship with lots of problems. So we're going to fire this weapon at about range 10. I don't actually know how to use it. So engage! It missed. Okay. Not great. Recharge the weapon. Oh, he's got pretty... Oh my god! Look at this! This is a full-on Q-ship, man. I'm saving my systems purely because I'm expecting a massive missile barrage. This is a right and proper Q-ship right here. 3 A-type missile launchers, 2 disruptors. Good god, that's almost heavy cruiser strength right there for this era. Just keep that in mind. It's for this era, that's almost heavy cruiser firepower there. He's then got an additional phaser force and a point defense system in case he runs into, you know, fighters, which the Hydrons love. One of the things you're going to find is we have more fighters than everybody, and our fighters are better than everybody's. So we're going to continue to operate sort of at this range. That's what I've been waiting for, because I want to see how well we can pick them off. The G-type phaser doing quite a bit of work. Unfortunately, then it ran out. Now we can start firing back. We have weapons that we know will work for defending us, and that's what we wanted to see. So we'll try and sneak around and get this other phaser 2 on target. And from this range, ooh, we might get a good sneaky Hellbore shot in here. We're aimed right at him. Let's not get too close. There we go. And see, even though we were facing the weakest shield, if we had been over here, it would have wrapped around and hit that shield. It's a brilliant weapon. Okay, his missiles are about to come back online again for another nice long shot. We do have to keep him in a position where our rear weapons can protect us. The Phaser G is a 360-degree mount, which makes it super flexible for us, something that we very much appreciate. But as you can see, most of our armament is focused forward. We suffer the problem that many races suffer in this game, in we don't have great arcs on other positions. So we will continue to fire with our starboard side mounts so that we can continue a orbit with our port side weapons facing towards him. The reason we're doing that is because we need the defensive... Oh, never mind. That's not good. Let's swirl in a little bit here and try and keep full nose on. And we're going to rely on the Phaser Gatling. It does its job quite beautifully. We'll fire everything else we've got into the back of this shield. We've lost one of our Phaser 2s, which is a bit of a problem. Not going to lie. It is not the greatest thing in the world. However, our Hellbore is about to come online again. And as we said, the Hellbore does not care. It just goes after the weakest part. So we are able to take advantage of that. He hasn't lost any systems yet. He's got more armor, or at least internal space, than we do. We're going to pick up speed to our full, and we're going to start trying to operate a little bit further away from this guy. The simple fact of the matter is he's really starting to annoy me. This is a little bit outside our weight class. He definitely has a massive advantage when it comes to heavy weapons. However, that advantage is only really going to last as long as that missile launcher lasts. Once he runs out of missiles, he's in trouble. There's really no other way to put that, because then he'll be down to 2 disruptors, which are only moderate power. We're going to switch to a 360-degree reinforcement and some light counterfire back and forth. Once that missile launcher is out, he's down to 2 disruptors and 4 phasers, and we can actually match that. But for now, he does have a decent amount of, I don't want to call it burst firepower, because it's really not, but he's got a decent amount of firepower that we have to pay attention to for a little while. But eventually, that'll disappear, and he will lose that advantage. He may have already lost that advantage. I don't think so. But as long as we can continue to play on the edges and always be hitting a weakened shield, we should be able to handle him pretty handily. And of course, always appreciative of the gorgeous backgrounds as we whirl and fight with these special ships brought to us by Fire Souls Orion Pirates Plus mod. My favorite way to play the game at this point. I'm a sucker for new ship designs, so So the fact that Orion Pirates Plus pretty much gives new ship designs to almost everybody, oh, it just makes it so much fun. And then the wonderful background mods provided also just greatly enhance the overall presentation of the game. Are you out of missile? I'm going to check. I don't think he is. He's still got that hardpoint available. He's probably saving it because he's expecting me to dump my phasers into him. And if I do that, I will be extremely vulnerable. But as long as I just keep using the Hellbore on him, well, one, that shield's never going to get to full power, and two, he's never going to be able to penetrate my forward weapons. So, once again, the Gatling Phaser doing a lot of work. We'll fire some long-range weaponry right there. Probably wasn't the best idea, but it was something I wanted to try and get through. And now the Hellbore going in, blowing up part of the shield, and then wrapping around for the empty part. We don't want to get too close to him because we do want to keep him somewhat inaccurate when firing at us. Otherwise he'll do things like that, and we don't like it when he does things like that. That in particular is very annoying. Come on, turn a little bit more. Oh, we did lose a point of power, so we are going to have to keep up on that. Losing power in a frigate battle, not a good plan. So we do have weapons available. It's very tempting to try and take a shot here. We're not going to. We are still waiting for that missile launcher to shoot. I suppose we could try and fire with the with these two, and that way it keeps the Phaser G fully available to use, and the two Phaser 2s available to use. However, it does mean we have to stay nose on to him, because these phasers will not fire in cross arcs. Well, I suppose if we keep these backwards on, we'll have a better angle to shoot at. So let's go nose on these missiles. It does mean we have to expose ourselves a little bit, but puts us in a nice safe position. We're able to get another couple of shots down his shield, and the Hellbore Cannon's about to come back online again, which means missed shot at a range of 3. Really? Slow down a little bit more. We'll dump more power into the shield reinforcement. Ooh, he's going to cross in much closer than I want him to. This is a bad, bad angle. We're going to see if we can't order a high energy turn to keep up with this. Because if we can... There we go. That's what we wanted. It looks like his A-rack is empty, so now we're going to really start laying into him with the energy armament as well. And we're going to increase speed. See, now we're starting to deal some damage. We had to start sort of slow because of that A-rack. It did force us to play much more cautiously than we otherwise would have. But once it's out of ammunition, now we can really start hurting him. Of course, you know, our forward shields took a real beating, and now so we don't have a whole heck of a lot to work with now either. But I would say we definitely hold an advantage. His long-range weaponry is, 1, focused on his forward arc, and 2, empty. I'm, of course, talking about his disruptors and his missile launcher. So we'll just continue to use these little needle point attacks. And another shot. Missed. Hellbore missed again. We really can't afford to be having that Hellbore. You really got to be a little bit more accurate on that. We'll go and put the points into the repair. I think we may try and flow away from him a little bit. Facing is not so important with our heavy weapon. Like I said, if we hit him, he's going to take the hit. If we hit him, he's going to take the hit in the worst possible area. So we don't have to play too conservatively on that matter. So, but our phasers would prefer if we managed to hit a target that was weakly defended. See, we're trying to ride on top of this shield, which is not great for us. It does definitely limit our attack capabilities. And unfortunately, we can't really get a better angle on it. We'll engage with the phasers from here. The G-type phaser is firing 4 shots. It's basically 4 phaser 3s, and that's not an insignificant amount of firepower. So we'll just continue the fire going out, and of course having to take a little bit of fire. We are, of course, limiting the amount of firepower that he can put into us, because as you can see, these 2 phasers are offline. So as long as we sort of stay in this side of his ship, he will have less armament to fire at us with, and a nice solid Hellbore shot from close range, no less. Getting our other phasers into the mix to score a couple of hits on his rear shield. He is down to 2 phasers and 2 disruptors. The missiles are empty. And he's down to 8.7 points of speed, which is not really working out all that great for him. So we have another energy armament ready to go. We do have to sort of weaken what we have to weaken our shields a little bit when we do that, because we are trying to reinforce, and that spends power from the phaser capacitor. But now that he has no more weapons on board, I think that's a price well worth paying. Could we capture him if we really wanted to? He's got 6 people on board. We've only got 1 transporter. The answer to that question is a resounding no. We will not probably be the race that captures a lot of ships, even though he's basically crippled. So it would be nice if we could. Unfortunately, it's not quite in the cards for us. So we do need to come around and get a little bit closer in order to get the phaser Gatling involved. And will we get the angle on him before he gets that shield in the way? Nope, not quite, but we did get another Hellbore shot in. The Hellbore does not care for facing, just goes for the down shield. Gives us a lot of flexibility and makes things a lot harder on a Klingon. He doesn't have much left of his ship. So, yeah, very little left of this ship. No, he's got 2 missile launchers, no missiles for him, and just the ECM generator. His shuttle bay, tractor beam, and transporter arrays all seem to be down. His anti-missile defense system, non-functional. And, yeah, all the phasers, nothing works. There we go. Shattered the ship. A nice, pretty decently powerful Q-ship. And we were able to take advantage and kill him. That Hellbore offering a lot of tactical flexibility. Gives us quite a nice advantage. So we will go to 412 prestige. It's not really worth trying to buy something in the destroyer range. Besides, we're not quite even there yet. We could buy an SAR. That's just triple fusion cannons, a Saracen. We don't really want to do that. I like Hellbores. I think they're an excellent weapon. I think they're a reliable weapon. And they're the kind of thing that, well, if everything goes to hell, I always have a weapon that I can fall back on pretty reliably. So, we'll put out into space and check out this planet, and we'll do a scout. A scout on a planet is an excellent thing, especially if we manage to flip this tile, because flipping the tile would give us an excellent jumping off point into the Klingon Empire. We have our target. It is another freighter, and please tell me you're not another FL. You are an FRL, so I assume you're some sort of reservist, and we are up to speed now. Let's prep the forward shield. Reinforce it, even though we don't really need to. We're not quite as flexible as the Marak on firing arcs, but the fact that the Hellbore cannon will hit whatever we want means we don't care so much. And anything else that we've got? We've got to wait for the phaser capacitor to charge. That'll tell us that 1 turn has gone by, and 1 turn going by is also the signal that probes can be launched. We hadn't used a lot of probes back during the Marak campaign because we didn't really care, and also we kind of got used to what we were fighting. But the Klingons have not an excellent, but a large number of support vessels, such as this, and knowing what each and every single one of them does can be somewhat difficult. But this will not be a problem at all. He's only got a single Phaser 2, a single Phaser 3. He was probably caught out on a spying mission, and that's why we're coming around to take a look. Say, hi, buddy, what you doing? Why are you out here? And I bet you that he doesn't have a permit. So we have 6.2 points of power put into that shield. So let's go for a deep scan charge up. That way we can have the information ready immediately. Klingon freighters are pretty decently solid. They tend to have a little bit better AI, at least compared to the Lyran ones we had to fight last campaign. So I'm expecting we won't just be able to one-pass and annihilate him, but the sooner we get this scouting data down, the sooner we can just absolutely rip him apart. So range of 16. I should probably set up some firing groups, shouldn't I? I hadn't done this yet. So 1 for the Hellbore, 2 for the Phaser doses, and this for the Phaser 3. But we want to select all weapons. We have all the information we need. Fire all weapons. And shut that off. We no longer need it. Let the Gatling Phaser do its thing. Unfortunately, we weren't able to fully wipe him out. I'm surprised. I wasn't expecting to kill him, but I was expecting to knock his shields out. But I suppose he was using a pretty good shield reinforcement. Fortunately, our Hellbore, again, does not care. Looped around to the weakest shield and caused some unrepairable damage. So, is he just trying to run away? Because if you are, buddy, you're not going to make it. I mean, you're just playing into my strengths with this Hellbore cannon. I'm going to be honest. Trying to run, bad decision. Trust me. So he is trying to extend out. He does not want to die. Unfortunately, the in-game AI is not allowed to run from battles. They are allergic to the border, which, you know, we've seen really bite us in the butt a couple of times back when we were playing the Iraq campaign and trying to flee a battle, and the AI just refused to do it. So our Hellbore is still a charge, and it should be accurate out to this range. I don't know how accurate. I really do need to check the big book of armaments. But once I do, we will know exactly when and how to fire this weapon. But for now, we'll fire and miss. Let's increase the speed a bit. If he's just going to run away like this, I'm not really going to want to waste time with it. Yeah, seriously, he's feeling... I've already accomplished my mission so far. I technically don't have to stick around to kill him. Oh, he's finally decided to commit to a fight. He's presenting his ship, his shield. Let's get it nice and close. Closer. Now. All weapons fire. Managed to cut through his forward system. His forward phaser is offline. Whether or not it's destroyed or just stuttered, we don't know yet. I'm willing to bet it's probably just stuttered. And his speed has dropped. I think it's dropped down to 16. So he's immediately putting repair on that phaser too. So I'm going to assume that it is busted. And we're going to fire a Hellbore. It manages to hit. Circles around to the front and blasts right through. Doesn't have a forward shield, so it just goes right onto his hull. Did 6 damage, which isn't bad, especially against a ship this small. Freighters are not notably very tough. I'm kind of tempted. Yeah, we're going to pursue. Increase speed, we're coming after him. And is he turning around to try and do another broadside pass like before? Looks like it. Let's slow on down, make sure that we have all our systems ready to fire. He fired a single phaser shot. And then we fired our phaser shots and did a lot more damage. His speed is dropping past 13, past 12. He's at 10. So we should be able to keep up with him no problem at this point. So unfortunately, it looks like the computer does not want to be working on even levels. So we're going to have to manually control our distance. A Hellbore from this range ought to be fine. I don't think we take splashback from it. Oh, not unless we overload it. We might. And boom. Fusion bottle expanded, circle around, and slapped the weakest part of the ship. And now we can lay into him. Wow. Oh, I was about to say, I can't believe that he didn't lose any points of speed from that, considering we pretty much fired right into his warp engines. But no, he did lose 2 points of speed out of that. A total of 23 damage got through the shield on that one. He's not having a good day. Can I steal you? He does have 2 people on board. It's tempting. Do you think it'd be worth it? I think it might be worth it. So let's start sending in the Marines. He doesn't have any weapons left. I don't think that's going to work. The Marine pretty much immediately died. There we go. Wiped him off the face of the planet, or the face of space. With no one the wiser. Scouted him out, hunted him down, annihilated him. That's how things should work. Although we are noble knights, so we should keep that in mind. Not be too bloodthirsty. We'll stay out in the middle of space. One more patrol. As the HMS Thunderclap, we'll see if we can't do something fun and easy. Another Klingon ship? Are we going to run into yet another freighter? Or is this going to be an actual fight? Shields are up. We'll come over here to the shield reinforcement. And no target as of yet, so we will increase the speed of time. There we go. We've got a frigate. What type of frigate are you? You're a G4. Okay, so you're a little you're a little gunboat, I think. Are you just like a police gunboat? You might be. Let's take a peek. We'll find out. He's got a single missile launcher and 3 phaser 2s. I definitely put odds towards us on this fight. He could use a scatter pack, though. That is an interesting thing I hadn't considered. I had been thinking about it against the freighters, so we probably should get back into the practice of prepping scatter packs every single time we want to fight. We'll drop 3 points of speed while we prep that scatter pack. It does take a full point of power, and on a frigate, we don't have a lot of power. Oh, that's quite nice. So, crossing in front of him. He does have a very powerful frontal shield, it seems. He is putting a lot of power into the reinforcement on that. We'll fire the Hellbore into him, let our phasers handle this missile, and now everything we can into his stern. He's picking up speed, though, so we didn't get a good shot on the warp reactor. But yeah, police gunboat, definitely. Not very heavily armed, and vulnerable to our attacks. Still has a shuttle bay, though, so he could drop a scatter pack, which would be a very bad end to our day. So we'll continue coming around hard to port. I think we can maintain a decent position on him. And if our phasers regenerate fast enough, we should be able to get a really nice shot in. Oh, but he may have timed this turn pretty well. Got good shots in there. He's not... Oh, there it goes. The mine's going to blow up. Took out our rear shield. Our scatter pack is ready. So let's pick up some speed. We want to still be going after him. One of our phasers is a little bit on the blink. He's about to have another missile ready to fire. And I don't think we're going to be able to avoid it. Just barely. Nope. Took out another one of our shields. Wait for the mine, or for the phaser to be taken out by the... Wait for the phaser to be taken out by the missile? No, wait for the missile to be taken out by the phaser. And point-blank range shot with the Hellbore cannon, followed up by vicious raking phaser fire. He's lost both of his rear phasers. His power is way far down, so we're going to slow down right on with him. Give him all the barrels at this point. See, once we finally fight a ship that's basically on our level in terms of, defenses, we rip right through him. He's got no more weapons right now. He's still trying to patch that phaser 3. Another phaser shot into his stern. He's managed to get up to a speed of 6.1. I don't know if I should be concerned about incoming enemy fire from... No. Now, I was about to say I don't know if I should be concerned about a scatter pack, but no, not when he's in about 4 or 5 big pieces scattering away from an expanding ball of plasma from his own reactor. Excellent work. Thunderclap doing work. Let's see how much prestige we got for that one. 236, so not as much. We did take the tile, which is a good position to be in. We'll hop back here. We're at 912. I think, yeah, we're saving up for 1752 or maybe even 1872. With its 4 Hellbore cannons and 2 fusion beams. That's a nice ship. I kind of want it. But that's going to be for a future episode. That'll end it now for the first episode of Season 5, the beginning of the Hydron Revenge campaign, as we have pushed out against the Klingon Empire and are starting to make our presence known. This former subject of theirs will be a subject no longer. Anyway, I've been Tyrek. If you like what you've been seeing, hit that like button and subscribe. If you want to receive a notification every time I release one of these videos, press that little bell icon, leave a comment, and I will see you all in the next episode.